Argentina took on France in the first game of round of 16 in hopes of making it into the quarterfinals. But there was no way Argentina were going to win this, considering France had tactically strangled Argentina's creativity not just in the final third, but wherever they went, resulting in them having a huge share of possession, but nothing to show for it. Now, in order to fully understand this tactical masterclass from Deschamps, we have to take a look at what Sampaoli's Argentina had in mind going into this match. I'll be doing a detailed analysis of the French team later in this video. So, without further ado, let's take a look at how Argentina lined up. Argentina fielded the same team from the last time, except for Pavón coming in for Higuaín. There were plenty of rumors that Messi had taken control of the team, and he's making selections now. I don't know how true that is, but Messi's best position is as a false 9, provided there are players around him to support that playing style. Pep got the best out of him by using him as a false 9 during his time in Barcelona. The plan was to have Messi drop deep into the midfield while Pavón and Di Maria were staying as wide as they could. The forwards were staying wide to exploit the space left by the French fullbacks when going upfield. Mascherano, just like before, dropped back to help in a build-up while Perez and Banega went up. As you guys already saw, Argentina had majority of the possession, so they came prepared to have the most possession. And this is where it goes wrong for Argentina, in my opinion. The problem is, to get the best out of Messi, you have to have a possession-based playstyle. But this Argentinian team does not have the players who can accommodate that. So he's left to bear a huge responsibility on his own, and if he's neutralized, then Argentina don't have anyone else like him that they can look up to. And that is exactly what the French team were after. There was a reason they were happy to let Argentina have majority of the possession. We will get into that after we take a look at how France lined up for this tie. On paper, it seemed like they lined up as 4-5-1, but it's a bit more complicated than that. Pogba, Kanté and Matuidi were the midfielders, with Kanté dropping back from time to time since the fullbacks were allowed to go up. This allowed the French forwards to tuck inside a bit, giving them the freedom to roam around in the final third, while Giroud, the target man, stayed by the defensive line. But as we discussed before, France had a lot to do defensively as opposed to offense. And this is exactly why France switched to a 4-4-2 without the ball. The front two were tasked with keeping Mascherano quiet as they switched depending on where the ball was. This ensured that, no matter which side the ball was on, Mascherano was not going to be involved. If you haven't noticed already, Pogba was playing on the right, and if you have seen Pogba play before, you know that when he's at his best, more often than not, he's playing on the left of a midfield 3. But in this case, it was crucial he played on the right and not the left. Why? Messi. Because of this change, Deschamps was able to play Matuidi and Kanté in an area where Messi loves to drop into. And so, when Messi was on the right side of the field, Matuidi would step up to take care of him. This caused Messi to go inside where Kanté was prepared for him, waiting. Which eventually caused him to be even deeper than before, isolating him from the forwards. And this is how France were able to take care of Messi and Mascherano, which left Argentina toothless for the most part. Just take a look at this for example. Notice how isolated Argentina get where Di Maria is. Not just that, but some players were poor yet again. Notice how Mercado doesn't use the space to his advantage, allowing France to close everyone down. Even when Argentina got in behind France on the flanks, there was no aerial presence inside the box to aim towards. That was France without the ball. With the ball, they had many ways to trouble the Argentinian defense. France had to take their chances during counterattacks, there's no denying that. So they set up in a way that would give them multiple options to get upfield. One way was through Giroud, the target man. They were able to get upfield following the forwards' hold-up play. Another way was through Pogba, who's excellent at this phase of the game. The fullbacks. They provided a brilliant option as they became the widest players. Di Maria and Pavon are not good defensively, and the French fullbacks wanted to take full advantage of that. Finally, the most problematic tactic for Argentina, through the pace of Mbappe or Griezmann. Throughout the whole game, their pace was causing Argentina's defense trouble, especially Mbappe's. Eventually, in the 11th minute of the game, Mbappe picks up the ball in the midfield and runs past the Argentinian defense. Griezmann stepped up to give France a deserving lead. Argentina kept trying to make something happen, but were unable to do anything until late in the first half. For example, this is the closest Messi got in the first half, and it took 37 minutes. While Mbappe kept on causing the defense trouble with his pace. And the fullbacks were exploiting spaces on the flanks whenever they could. Out of nowhere, in the 41st minute of the game, Di Maria attempts a long-range shot. That was Argentina's first shot on goal. That should give you an idea of how Argentina were offensively. That goal gave Argentina a lifeline as they went into the break with the scores level. Coming out of the break, Fazio replaced Rojo, I assume because of Giroud. Di Maria, after scoring a stunner in the first half, looked like a completely different player in the second. In the 48th minute, again out of nowhere, this happens, which puts Argentina in a prime position to eliminate France. France kept on attacking, and since the fullbacks were being afforded space, they were now even more offensive than before. That play eventually results in France leveling the score through a wonder goal, possibly goal of the tournament. As the game went on, a France victory seemed more likely due to a couple of reasons. France had the luxury to rest a few key players in their last match, while Argentina had to fight until the final few minutes in their previous game. Since Argentina were having difficulty playing in the middle, they were forced out wide. And as I mentioned before, they had no real aerial threat inside the box, so going out wide isn't exactly going to help Argentina's case. Sampaoli did not address that until the 66th minute when he brought on Agüero for Perez. That was done in response to going a goal down, which again came from the left wing through a fullback. Taking out Perez probably hurt Argentina more than it helped, as France kept on threatening following the substitution. Not too long after the third, in the 68th minute, France scored a wonderful team goal. Griezmann's position was crucial in that goal. Let's take a look at it again, and this time, notice how the forwards are able to create space for their teammates with their positions. France could have easily scored a lot more if they were a bit more clinical in front of the goal. Argentina kind of gave up until this happened in the 92nd minute, which gave them a slither of hope with 2 minutes remaining. But it was too little too late, as Argentina got eliminated in the round of 16 while France advanced to the quarterfinals. They will have to do without Matuidi, as he will be suspended since he picked up a second yellow card during this tournament. The midfield, along with Mbappe, were the best French players and were crucial to this win. France now advanced to the quarterfinals as one of the favorites to win the World Cup. Having said that, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think France are the favorites to win the World Cup? If not, then who is? Let me know down in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All the links can be found in the description. For more analysis on the World Cup, go ahead and visit my second channel, since these type of videos usually get blocked when I upload them here. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel, check out the Patreon page or the card on the top right. Thank you to Anthony, Tej Mullen, Shawshank BR, Hamilton Howard Nodine, Lucky Sengoku-san, Yetsa Goretsky, Ken Tonerkan, and more for supporting this channel on Patreon.